All right, there it is. It is Friday. I want to apologize that I'm putting this video out so damn early and I don't have all the breaking news. Some people in the Discord have said to watch out for Pratt maybe being injured and Dell. I haven't seen anything. I looked on Twitter, which is usually the best place to hear rumors like that, and I didn't see anything, but it is definitely something worth monitoring. If you're wondering why I'm putting this out so early, it's fucking simple, man. I just don't have enough time. I still got to make the Rosetta Stone for the Saturday slate, the big slate, which is like, 18 games between DraftKings and FanDuel. And then I still have to make the college football show that I put out on YouTube. And I got the Showdown Hoedown tonight for round 3 golf. And then I still got to do week-long football tonight with John. Literally is just not enough fucking hours in the day on a Friday. So this is coming out a little bit early. So I am warning you now. Fucking double check all this. Lock is at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time Zone, Lord's Time Zone, which it is exactly 1 o'clock right now. So that's 5 hours from now. But I will tell you this. Here's what I will tell you for sure. I'm only doing one lineup tonight. There's just so much volatility, and with only 5 games, and I really only want a part of 3 of them, it just doesn't leave a lot of creativity for GPPs. Plus, honestly, tonight there's not a lot of difference between a GPP lineup and a cash lineup. I think my cash lineup could do well at cash and well in GPPs because I'm basically just stacking 2.5 games. That's basically what I'm doing. That's my cash lineup, right? And I'm just bum hunting in all the $1, $2, $3 head to heads, and then I went and threw it in every single big field double up or 50-50. That's what I did and went and threw it all and just threw it in all the tournaments, just one thing. That's how I'm doing it. I don't give a fuck what you do. You play your own money. Okay, so without further ado, let me go over this. This is the Rosetta Stone. We will start calling it the Rosetta Stone. I don't care how cheesy you think it is, because this thing, if you don't know the Rosetta Stone, you ignorant donkey, is what the fucking Greeks found that helped them decipher what the Egyptians were saying, because no one could read fucking hieroglyphics and shit. So they needed the Rosetta Stone. And so college football, nobody can decipher it. So I make this spreadsheet to be the Rosetta Stone to help you decipher it. Yeah, I know, it's clever for the 3 history nerds that got it. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about this slate. First of all, you got to remember when you're playing cash in a 5-game slate, you're going to have to take more risk than you are in a 14-game slate, right? There's just fewer good choices. And at the same time, I have to imagine as small as this community may be, there is going to be people pushing the same names. So be very careful with that. So let's just talk about it. This first game, this Tulane-Houston game, it was going to be my sneaky game, but now there's some rumors that Dell may be out. I haven't seen that once again, but if he is, that dramatically makes me like this game a lot less. If he is out, I think you definitely want to play Golden. I don't know if I'd play him in cash, but I'd certainly put him in some GPP lineups because him and Manjack are probably going to get a lot more targets, but I haven't seen anything to suggest that yet. I think it also dramatically decreases Toon's value. He has not been great this season. Now you take away his best receiver. I will say he has high upside, but that's more correlated to how cheap he is relative to the team total. Pratt, I guess, got hurt last week. But his team, if he does play, his team has a 26-point total. That's pretty solid. And he's one of those guys. I remember playing against OU last year. Dude's fucking tough and can score. Not even somebody you should consider for a second in cash, in my opinion. But if you want to pick a sneaky game that shoots out tonight to try to win a GPP, this could be a sneaky game that shoots out. But if Pratt and Dell are out, I don't like it at all. Bob. All right, let's get to the big game. One of the 2 big games you should be targeting. This UTSA. By the way, I hope you understand that's not Montana State. That's Middle Tennessee State. Read a book. Okay, so here we go. This is a game I really like. I think my lineup has at least 3 guys from this game, maybe 4. I have a lot of people from this game. As you can see, for cash, I think you really got to consider Harris. 6,800 is just a criminal mispricing of him. So in cash, when you have a guy that has a really solid floor and a big upside, you almost got to certainly play him. You almost got to certainly play him in your cash lineup. I would say worst case scenario, outside of an injury, he probably gets you 20 points tonight, and he probably has a 35-point ceiling. You just can't beat that for 6,800. If you don't understand how mispriced he is, just look, he's 11,000 on FanDuel. That's why I didn't put him as cash at FanDuel, because that's a little pricey to just be an auto cash. But even over there, I got him as high upside, right? The running back Brady, they just don't use their running backs enough at UTSA for me to trust. But I think if you want to stack this game, you could get Brady in there and it would make sense. But I would only do it in a GPP. The great thing about UTSA and the bad thing about UTSA is all their targets are very concentrated to 3 guys. The bad news is all of their targets are very concentrated to 3 guys. So predicting which one of these 3 will go off is a little scary. I think, if I remember correctly in my lineup, as of right now, shit's probably going to change between now and then because I like to tinker too, especially with my cash lineup. I think I have 2 of those guys in there. It's just, it's just nice to pay for safety. And when you know that these guys are going to get 10 targets, you got to assume probably, 10 targets. If they're going to keep getting 10 targets and they have the highest team total on the entire slate and those guys are getting 10 targets, you got to assume 7 catches, right? 7 catches, throw in a touchdown, they easily pay off those prices. So that's why I like those guys. The highest team total, and most importantly, I think Middle Tennessee State can push them. And because Middle Tennessee State can push them, I think that keeps UTSA aggressive and playing to the end and not just getting 2.5 quarters worth of stats. So I really like UTSA as a foundation of my cash tonight. The wide receivers are all fairly priced, but the quarterback is criminally underpriced. I think this Cunningham guy, just because the team total is so high, maybe I should put him as a high upside guy. But at some point, you're going to play 2 fucking guys in cash, right? At quarterback. If you're not playing a quarterback in your super flex, fucking shame on you, okay? You just take those points, okay? Because they touch the ball every play. So you just take the quarterback points. You take them. You don't get cute. Okay, if you want to get cute and go put a fucking 4th receiver into the super flex, you do you, boo. But in cash, you don't do that shit, okay? You never do that shit. So Cunningham, I think, is a play at your super flex because you probably need to be running Harris at your quarterback. This running back Peasant, I really like him. He is the furthest thing from a peasant. I'd call him royalty. So he will definitely be in my cash builds. And then if you need some savings, I don't know how you want your cash lineup to look, but this Gathing guy at 3,300 is getting the most targets for this team. He's tied with Ollie at 6.3 a game. Really, what do you need from him to pay off 3,300? You need like 5 catches for 60 yards, and you're super happy, right? He gets a touchdown, you're fucking dancing in the streets naked. Okay, so I have him as a cash play, but remember, a guy like that, he's only averaging 6 targets, he's only 3,300, and he's playing for a team that's not noted for being the most efficient pass team. It is a bit of a punt, but because his value's so low, I see it very easy that he could get 3x. It's a lot like Ollie from last Saturday, if you remember him, right? Like, he only got 13 points, but when he's 3,500, 13 points is great. That's all we needed from him because he frees us up to get the other safer guys in our lineup. That's what we really like. So there you go. That's some guys. And that 30-point team total is pretty nice. That's a pretty nice team total. All right. That's also a great game to stack. You see, that's one of the 2 big games you should be attacking as a target game. This game, the San Diego State Boise game, disgusting. It's disgusting. I guess you could play this if you want to get tricky. If you don't know, Bachmeier's out, and Green is now the quarterback. I guess they fired their offensive coordinator over there at Boise State, and so Green is finally going to get the reins, and the line already dropped like 3 points as soon as he was announced the starter, so it seems like everybody kind of knows this, is it Talon Green? Whatever the fuck his name is. I don't remember all the players' first names. Sue me, Bob. He is a starting quarterback at 5,300. He is definitely a cash play because anytime you got a starting quarterback with in a team that's favored at home at 5,300, you almost always have to consider him. Part of the reason his salary is so low that, like you're thinking, well, that salary is so low, there must be something wrong with him. It's just because he hasn't been starting this year. That's it. That's really the only reason. And maybe he gets off to a slow start. He could get pulled. There's always that to factor in. But if you want to go cheaper at quarterback and just take the value points, I think Green makes a lot of sense for Boise State. Outside of that, from this game, Holani is a workhorse for Boise State. He will be in a favorable script most likely, but fuck, he's inefficient as shit. I mean, fuck, he averages like 3 yards a carry in college, which is like, what, -1 yards per carry in the NFL. Jesus. Okay. Other game you should really be targeting, Washington, UCLA. You listen to me, and you listen to me good, brother. This is a great game to attack. Problem is, it's pricey. The guys in this game are a lot more pricey, but you got to remember, UCLA tends to be pretty efficient on offense, right? Let me just go ahead and tell you, this Charbonnet, I really wanted to make him cash, but here's the thing about UCLA. I don't fucking trust Chip Kelly, right? I never know what he's going to do. Charbonnet tore it up week 1 for me, and then he just keeps getting his role reduced. There is some rumors that maybe that was connected to injuries. He's finally back tonight. I love Charbonnet and GPPs. If you're going to play GPPs, I feel like Charbonnet should be in at least half your lineups. I think he is the biggest upside play on this entire slate. That's my feeling. He might go out and get 6 points because he still might be in a timeshare with Jones there. But if he's not, if he's back to getting it, man, I think he's going to fucking light this game on fire. But for cash, not a chance I'm playing him. Not a chance. I'm not playing him on my cash lineup. I just can't do it, man. I can't do it, Bob. So Charbonnet will not be in there. And then as far as the other UCLA guys, DTR, he's like a poor man's Hendon Hooker or I was going to say a poor man's Hooker. He's kind of that guy that has just huge upside, but I can't play him in cash because sometimes he's really inefficient. And I just can't do it. I can't play him in cash, but I will be the first to acknowledge he has huge upside. If you're going to play GPPs tonight and not cash game, I would be all over this UCLA because I think all of them have super high floors and super high ceilings, and that's what you want in a GPP, right? All right, this is the tricky one, right? Washington. Penix Jr. is priced up pretty high, right? 8,500, but he is passing for I think over 330 yards a game. Fuck, that's a lot of save points. UCLA has a really shitty defense, and Washington they play fast, they play aggressive, and they have basically a 5 touchdown team total. That's a lot of ways he gets there. So I'm telling you, if you want to punt at quarterback, you go with Green, right, to save the money. But if you can make your cash lineup work where you get Penix Jr. in there, and by the way, putting Gathing in there kind of starts to open up guys like this. I don't know if you want to play a punt and Penix or if you want, a punt at wide receiver or a punt at quarterback. You would probably say, I'll take the punt at receiver. But a punt at quarterback still probably, I would say Green, worst case scenario, probably get you 15 to 20 points tonight, right? I can't promise you that Gathing is going to get you 13 to 14 points. I can't do it. So you got to ask yourself, would you rather punt with Gathing, punt with Green, somebody like that, right? For me, I still haven't decided, but I will say it is really hard to pass up a quarterback that probably has, I would guess, at least a 24-point floor and probably a 40-point ceiling with a high team total, right? His wide receivers, McMillan and Udones, how the fuck you say his name? I don't know. I haven't watched a Washington game this season. These are the big guys. They're getting all the targets. You can see they're both getting a lot of targets. They're guys that are always on the field. You got to love guys that get targets. The reason I have O'Dones as cash and not McMillan is simply just because of the price tag. At some point, you can't afford every mother father, right? Especially if you're wanting to get access to these nice, safe receivers at UTSA. You can't have 3 $7,000 receivers and Penix Jr. in your lineup. You just can't do it. Unless even if you go play 2 min cash guys, you're going to struggle to do it. So really liking UTSA, really liking Washington in my stack. Dell, if I get word that Dell's healthy, he is kind of a usage monster. So something to consider there. And then the last game, New Mexico UNLV. If you put a New Mexico guy in your cash lineup, you fucking quit watching these videos and you never watch it again. You never play somebody in a cash lineup that has a 15-point team total on a slate this small, right? Really a slate of any size, because what the fuck's their upside? I agree that Jones could get there and could have a great game tonight, but nobody you should ever play in cash. Maybe you play him in a GPP if you're running some weird UNLV stack. But the play for UNLV is definitely Robbins. I would say the running backs tonight really fucking suck. I had to struggle just to find 2. Fortunately, I think Robbins is pretty good. As you can see, he's getting a lot of plays per game. He's on the field about 85% of the plays. He gets to run the ball a lot, and he even gets a few targets a game. So to me, that's very safe. If you're wondering, why is there not more cash options? Well, there's only 5 games, and only really 3 of them are worth playing, in my opinion. So that's what I'll do. That's where we're at tonight for cash. For GPPs, I will tell you right now, the way to get tricky in GPPs tonight is go attack this Tulane Houston game. Maybe take some weird pieces in the UTSA Middle Tennessee State game, right? Like maybe play Brady or maybe play some of these other receivers that aren't Gathing. Go check out Ali. Maybe in this Washington UCLA game, everybody's going to want to stack Penix Jr. in their GPP stack. So maybe you go stack DTR and one of his receivers. I will tell you, his receivers are very overpriced relative to the number of targets they get. But it's a GPP. You're just playing to be right occasionally, right? And as I've already told you, I really believe if you're going to run a Penix Jr. GPP, you should probably run it back with Charbonnet. Hell, you could probably run it back with Charbonnet and DTR. I think they could both get there in that game. So that's the slate for tonight. Once again, I'm only running one lineup. I'm running a cash lineup. Hopefully you guys don't all dupe it. I feel like if you have an IQ over about 104, you're going to basically figure out exactly what my cash lineup is, just based on the few people that are selected on here and the names I've already given. But what the fuck ever. Just don't play me in any head-to-heads, because I don't want to give 10% cut to fucking DK. Okay, so you go search people out, and specifically don't search me out, or we're just gonna end up chopping, because I imagine you're probably gonna get to the exact same lineup, or maybe a one-off for me, and we're playing a 1v1 for all the money, which sounds stupid. Plus, I'm not here to take your $1. I'm here to take the bums $1, and I just go do that 50 times. I do the $2 50 times. I do the $3 50 times, because I've literally last weekend I had 149 out of 150 of them. So I mean, that just starts to really cover. That covers a lot of GPP punts and stuff, right? So that's what I do. It's called bum hunting. It's a way to make money. And if you don't know, I'm all about making money. I don't fucking do this shit for fun. So that's where it's at, brother. If you have any questions, you shoot me a DM. I've got to get started on the Saturday slate. My God. And then I still have to go do Showdown Hoedown for golf. I got to do the college football show tonight. And then I got to record me and John for the NFL final thoughts for tomorrow morning. And then I still got to make my lineups for tomorrow, because if you don't know, I like to make lineups. I make a lot more money making lineups than I do from YouTube videos, because from YouTube videos I make $0 fucking dollars, because there's no ads on these videos. What the fuck am I doing with my life? All right, guys. Good luck tonight. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM. Later, motherfathers.